Okie dokie, charged phone. Just got to load a needle with my little nifty needle threader. And now I've got my eyeballs on, I can actually see what I'm doing, because my needle threader decided to break. Well, it's not broken, it's just I've got to get it fixed. It's probably gone out of alignment, so I've got this little light needle threader. It's got a little light on it, LED on it, and just thread it through there, pull it through. Oh, did it go through? Yes, it did. Nice. Alrighty. So, welcome, welcome. We're going to do a little bit more of this collage. Find it.
Which one? The tracking ID.
Those ones, because it's the last 4 or 5 digits here. Hi, Gidget. How you going? Okay. Up. Up. Tighten her up. You're righty now. Needle in the up position. Now, hi, Debbie. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you I've got here, actually, I've got the wrong thread in. Now I've done all that. I need to change it and grab my other thread. Silly me. All right, hang on. Okie dokie. So, here I am, sitting on my backside. Hi, made it. Doing hexie quilt. Nice. So I've been sewing just like I get one colour and then I'll sew that whole one colour down with one thread. So I'm just double checking what I've got here. Looks like I'm up to my darker blues, so like a grey blue. So I'm using the Wonderful Confetti, colour number 602. That's it there. Hi, Pat. So I'm just going to try and unthread that because my fingernails won't do it. Oh, try my teeth. No, the pin. They're so little. There it is. Oh, that belongs somewhere. There we go. I might have to get Mary to help me with this one because it looks like... Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Got it. Hi. Yes, Amanda. So this is a collage. It's actually a horse, and you'll probably see it better if I hold it. Oh, you can't see there. No, you can't see it now. You'll have to... There you are. You can see him better there. There's his eye up here, his back, and he's got his halty on. It's his face, side of his face. All right, now I've got that done. So again, I still have these threads. Obviously, I've only just got them in stock not long ago, and I'm still with the mini reels. I'm not sure when I'll get the larger ones in, but I just have to contact them and see whether they have got them. Hi, Judy, how you going? Now, my little needle threader. So this is here because my needle threader decided to cack itself. So you've got a little switch to put a light on, and you must have your eyes on to do these things. It's got a little bit of wire placed through the needle, the hole of the needle, and mind you, I normally have to, there we go, I got it through. Normally I have to put the needle down a bit so I can see it. And because my needle thread is not working, I'm just going to do it this way for the time being. Thread that through there, like that, and pull it through there. Alright, turn it off, pop it to the side, ready for next time. Alright, all done. Cut off the excess. Now, I think I did start there at some point, and now I just needle down. The needle down and needle up function will help knot that. I have to lift my foot up a little bit because it's so low, and I just want to make sure my tension is right, which it's not. Find it?
I think it just says it's being prepared.
Oh, okay. And why is it doing that? I can feel the feed dogs underneath. So let me just cut off. My machine is back in being dealt to, ever so slightly peeved. Oh, you would be, Michelle. Oh, what a poop. All right. Okay, so the feed dogs should be down. They are. It is a nifty little fella, and it's only $7, Shell. I've got another order from them coming in. I can feel those feed dogs again. Must be my imagination. All right, so I've just finished off those little areas, and because I'm doing this stop-start feature, I'm not burying threads or anything like that. It's just going to be sewn down on the raw edge. Now I'll come around to the next dark blue fabric. And again, I'm stop-starting. I've got no foot on the machine. Stop-start. Hi, Lynette. And then put the thread above and grab it again. Just fill in that little area there that looked a little bit light. Just don't want it there. And I'm going to go around the edge of the next piece as well. Okay, just going around twice on that occasion. Then getting into the grayer areas. I do have a grey, but it might be a bit light for what I'm doing right now. Okay, is that zigzag stitch you were using? No, it's only a straight stitch, but it seems to be, I'm wondering whether, no, the feed dogs aren't up. No, they're not coming up. It just seems that it's grabbing it. Could be because it's so thick. All right. Oh. That's going to annoy me, so it's got to go. I feel naked without my foot pedal and not in control. Oh, no, I have so much more control. Some of the girls have started doing it, and honestly, they are finding it just so liberating, because what happens is that you don't have to worry about your motor skill of your foot, where your foot is at any time. It just takes that one motor skill out of the equation, and means you can concentrate on your stitch length and on where you're going. And that's one less thing to think about, which I think is fabulous. So I'm just going back and over these same spots, and you can see I'm not really taking a lot of care. I am, but I'm not. I don't mind if I sort of do a bit of scratchy, scribbly work. Then we're going to, I've got my phone on charge again. I'm just going to lift up the thing without destroying everything. Have you got that chair up there, Mary? Chair. Alright. So this is going to make a nice smooth finish on the back there. Now, I'm going to use a couple of different thread colours up and down here. Oh, yeah. Honestly, Debbie, be brave. Give it a go. You will not. Is it Tony? I think it was Tony Stocko. Send her a message. Ask her. I'm pretty sure it was Tony. Can't remember. Someone sent me a message. And it was just amazing to hear. She was so elated that she could actually quilt. She didn't realise that she could actually quilt because she's never been able to get the stitches right and so on and so forth. So, you know, you get very despondent when you keep feeling like you're stuffing it up. So she's given it a go, because I did say to her, try it without the foot. You might be surprised. And I'm pretty sure it was her. I'd have to check the messages. But the review I got back from her was just amazing. I was so impressed with the fact that she'd given it a go and made it work. So I'm just filling in this little area here with some stitching, just back and forward, just to darken that up a little bit too. And if you notice, I've put a line down the centre of that. Now this is where you probably could get your picture out, or should have your picture out, so that you can go back and forward for different shadings. Well, that's right. If you've got more control with the foot, then use the foot. But if you've got more control without, then go without, I reckon. Do what works. But just be aware of distinguishing the difference between having control and feeling that you're having control. Alright, so we've gone down there in those, and I'm just going back into that blue one there. And that's actually a shadow, so I'm just going to shade it in a little and break up the edge of it. The back and forward stuff, and I'm just sort of going backwards and forwards over the edge of it just to shade it in, because the idea of it is to make it look like it's going from one thing to the other. Alright, so we've got a few lines in here. Yeah, I think you should, Deb. I really do. I reckon you'll really enjoy it. You'll be surprised at how easy it is without the foot pedal. Mary's going, yep, in the background, because she does it all the time. It's no different than using a long arm, except that you're moving the fabric. So, long arm, you don't have a foot pedal. So I'm just going to stitch up here. So the basis of doing this is just to get these pieces of fabric stitched down. I'm not really looking at the moment to get into any designing or, you know, full-on shadowing or shading or anything. I really just want those fabrics down. In saying that, here and there I might add a bit of a shadow in, but nothing major. Alright, cut that off. I can see this is starting to lift. I do have a black bobbin in, so I don't really want to change it. I've got a deco bobbin for those who are wondering. But I'm going to change up to... I can see actually some threads. I've got to just snip them and snip that, and that's another one, I think. Just give it a bit of a haircut along the way. All right, so I've got some browns in. I don't have a brown there. I'm sure it's somewhere. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. I put it somewhere silly, you know, in the easy to see spot. So excuse me, I'm going to tell you controlling the machine speed. Yep, sure, Amanda. So when I press start, I have my little controller here, and I slide it back and forth to what speed I want the machine to go at. And I normally start underneath the halfway mark, and then what happens is that I slow it up or speed it down as to what my motor skill is. So for me, just under the halfway mark, just on the halfway mark works well for me. But someone might be a bit different. They might move quicker than me, and they might need the speed of the machine up a little bit as well. So depending on what kind of like speed you move the fabric at as to what you're going to Are you jelly? What are you jelly about, darling? Suzanne, why are you jelly? Come on, stay on. What are you jealous about, sweet? Oh, because you don't have the stop-start button. Oh. So give it a try. Amanda, if you've got a stop-start, that would be a greater speed at the lowest. What would I have the speed at the lowest? Start it just under your halfway mark. So if you start too fast, you'll frighten yourself to death. If you start too slow, you'll have these massive stitches. Or halfway for speed, also depending on the project. Exactly, Ratto. Yeah, see, Ratto does it as well. Always does most of the time does the stop-start thing. I find that I have much more control of my project because I'm not thinking about my feet and what I should be doing with my feet and keeping my feet moving at the same speed of my hands. My feet just sit on the edge of the stool. They sit up in a comfortable position. I'm just going to stitch that there. They're not, I haven't got an achy foot or the foot pedal's not moving. I get no jerky movement because it's all, just going the same speed each time. Each time I turn it on, it goes the same speed. So I'm just going back over this one a second time. And I don't always go over in the same spot too. If you notice, when I'm stitching, I tend to go next to it or beside it or across it or whatever. The idea is not to have it completely immaculate. It's better for me to stop-start button as I have a lead foot. That's exactly right too. It actually helps people regulate. Not get regular, but regulate their foot speed, because some people can't help themselves and they've had the machine going 100 miles an hour and they might move their hands really slow. And what that does is create lots and lots of little knots. So if that's what you're finding when you're sewing, is that you're getting all these little knots, that definitely means that you are going too slow for the speed of the machine. So I hope that makes a bit of sense, and no, you're not ignorant. It's all about learning, and the girls will tell you, there's no silly question with me. They're all good questions and they're all relevant. So I'm just going to go over here, even that's sort of like a greeny colour, or grey-greeny colour. I'm going to throw the brown over it. And I'm just going to edge back and forth. I upgraded after being in a wheelchair for 8 months and couldn't sew. It was a feature I had to have. Exactly, yeah. So, for those who are not capable of being able to put their feet and that down on a pedal, the stop-start button's perfect. For those who have leg issues, any kind of leg issue, and they can't keep their feet in a down position for too long. It could be anything as simple as, or say simple, but as simple as a blood flow problem, You want to put your feet up on a stool, but you want to be able to sew. Well, you can't really do both at once, but you can if you've got a stop-start button. Do you know what I mean? So it really does help. I forgot to. Mary, see this fabric here? Can you grab like a fat quarter of it? Mm-hmm. Chuck it in. Okay. Put it. Yeah. Thanks. Alright, so I'm just letting you know where I'm at. I am literally just sewing along that top line in a brown. I just went off my mark, that doesn't matter. So this is the top of the horse's back. Just so you know where you are and what you're sewing. So in this case, you might want to make it a nice firm line. Alrighty, so I'm going to come back down here because I can see I've got more brown up there, and I need to just come into it, even though I've stitched on it already, just come into it, and I want to blend just a little bit of that brown into that sort of bluey grey area, just back and forth strokes. Nothing exciting, just little tiny bits at a time. And nice and easy. I'm just going to travel up here. Stop, move it around so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to come up in around all these areas because it looks like they've not really been stitched on enough. So my needle is the same needle as the other week when I was doing all those demos. I haven't changed it. Naughty me, yes I know. And you can see it's still going strong. It's a titanium base needle. It could chuck a wobbly with me doing all this, but you know, that's okay. It's done a lot of work. So I've missed a bit of thread there. I've been looking for a photo pic to do this. Hubby wants me to do a wall hanging of my desert rose blooms. Oh, that'd be awesome. Hello, Vella. Oh, that's okay. You can catch up mode. That's all right. You can watch it over and over again. That would be awesome. I saw that photo of one of your roses. It's just beautiful. That would look very similar to that poppy design that I had. So this is this is like around the eye area. So we need to just be aware of what we're doing around here, that we don't make it look like this very surprised or staring into the wild blue yonder. So now I'm just filling in that area by almost just echoing the shapes that I've got there. And when I'm in echo, if I overlap, it's okay, because we're not doing something that's traditionally quilted. We're decorating a piece, so it's okay if they're a little bit overlapped and crossed over, because that's the design and the feature of this type of sewing. That's the way it's done. So I'm just, and I'm keeping it in the same angle as what, say, the horse hair would be growing at. So even though I'm not doing hair as such, I'm still keeping it within that direction, so it makes it doesn't hurt the eye. Yeah, I would love to see that done, Debbie. I think that would be amazing. Just got a bit of hair in there. I didn't want it to be stitched in. Got it. So now I'm just going to show you around here. I don't know if you can see it very well. I'll try and zoom in without going too far. There we go. So I'm literally just going backwards and forwards, leaving little bits of gaps, bigger and smaller, just to create a bit of texture. Okay, so I'm going to come back out. I'm going to keep going up and around here and just keeping mindful of the hair direction, okay? Because if I went side to side, like, that would look weird. It would just look weird. So the up and down is fine. Side to side would look really weird. It just wouldn't flow naturally. So stitching over the lines of those other colours will help blend those bits of fabric into the one behind, but still not disappears so that it looks like there's no detail. It will help. So you'll basically keep doing this over and over again to a whole horse or whole animal or whatever you want to do. Like if I was doing, say, that flower that Deb's talking about, I would have the lines going in the direction of the lines that are on the actual flower. So all flowers have these amazing veins and things like that, so I'd make sure that it's all going in the right direction. So when I come back in, say the next colour, I will go in with the black or the darker grey that I was using earlier and just make sure I blend that into the brown so that the brown doesn't look like it's sort of unusual. It doesn't look out of place. And that noise the machine's making, that's normal when you get a lot of thread and a lot of fabric underneath the needle. Plus I've got the wadding, stabiliser, the whole kit caboodle, okay? So that's normal. Normal noise. So I'll just cut that off. I can see, I would see that it's done, Debbie. Yep, so that's it so far. So it looks a little bit messy at the moment, but it will get there. So I'm just going to go up here, that's behind the mane, and I'm going to stitch that one in. And again, just keeping their hair, the direction of the stitches in the direction of the hair growth. I'm just going to speed it up a fraction, just because my stitches are a bit big. Over there, I'll get him off in a minute. So echoing. And the other thing too is if you go and cover all this fabric with thread, then what's the point of putting the fabric on? You might as well just do thread work. So that's the other thing you've got to remember, okay? So just cut that off there. The idea is to give it a bit of texture without taking it over completely. We can go in here. Now, just in here, I'm just looking at the head. So that's the ear and a bit of hair that's behind the ear. So we'll just give this a little bit of a nothing major. Just have to hang on across here. Okay, so I've got a lot of that done. I haven't done these other dark parts, but I'm going to just quickly show you how to blend your black in. So your darker colour, and well, it's not a black, it's like a really dark gunmetal grey colour. So that's it there. Actually, that almost looks like it's a greeny colour. It's got a green tinge to it. That'll work. So that's the one we're going to use. It's a bit noisy. All right. Sorry, ladies, postman just delivered my 1,000 blocks book. Wow. Widget. That's huge. Oh, I nearly dropped me. I did drop me thing. That's huge. 1,000 blocks book. Oh, there we go. Got it on. All right. My needle thread in the hole. No. Mary?
Yeah, I'll stop.
Oh. Alright, so thread through that little hole. Dribbling all over the patterns, that's funny. And pull that through. And through there, cut it off. Now I'll show you how this actually, it's a bloody heavy, is it? Okay. So these are the darker parts, they're like little shadows and stuff like that. I'm just going to put my foot down. I can see that there's quite a bit of a gap, and that does make a difference with your tension. So that's better. It's got a bit of resistance, but it's still better. So I'm just blending from one to the other. So go into one and then back into the other. And it just helps. And if you're wanting to make extra shadows, back and forth really close together will create shadowy areas. And that's how you sort of create those areas, just a little with a hair, sort of hairy type animal. Alright? So back and forth, blending in from one to the other. And that just helps blend those two together. But without overrunning and overriding the actual fabric. We don't want to override the fabric. So you can see I've started blending and creating some new areas. So I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to go back and forth. Rather than having that look like a blob, I'm just going to lead it off by creating more sort of non-directional stuff. Go back and forth and around in circles, and we'll create that sort of non-directional thing. See here. So Daisy nearly lost the camera. Sorry, that's my bad. Got it in the wrong position. Need to go this way. My machine is actually doing really well considering what I'm going through, what I'm stitching through, Michelle. It's stitching through a lot of stuff right now, and I think having the right tools as well, so the right needles, the right bobbin, all those things make a difference, believe it or not. So rather than cutting off and all that all the time, you can just run down the horse's face, a bit more stitching in. No, actually, I've got it, Suzanne, I didn't think of doing that. I've just got it sort of perched in front of me on a little stand, and every now and then I keep knocking it. If I had it on my head, it'd be tilted sideways all the time. Leading into this one, I just need to put some extra lines in here in the centre of that big piece. And like I say, they don't have to be, you know, beautifully perfect. I just want them to sort of randomly go back and forward, but leaving a bit of the fabric there for you to see. On it, so we can stitch that over back and forth and give this some definition between the actual what do they call it, the bridle and the actual horse. And if you find that some of the brown's just too stark or too sharp on the edges, go into it and blend it in a little bit with a few little scratchy sort of stitches. I'll try and see if I can fold this. Might not want to. There we go. Oh, come on, work with me. So you can see that I've sort of done this scratchy sort of look around here. I've gone in and around those black areas with that darker colour, but I haven't covered that fabric altogether. That's the idea of having that fabric, is to make sure that you use the fabric, you know, when you're sewing. So yeah. So I won't actually do the eye without having the picture in front of me. And sometimes I will even draw a little bit on it before I stitch it out, just in case I stitch the wrong thing. Because once you the eye, if you bugger up the eye, you sort of bugger up the whole thing. I'm just going to stitch in this sort of area, just back and forth. See that white bit's going to move constantly on me, so the next thing I'm going to do is do some of those creamy white ones, but I tend to do them last if I can. Alright, so that shows you how I blend it, and you can see how she's starting to blend a bit, rather than having big blotches. I hope that helps in your sewing when you're doing your collage, and I hope you enjoyed. So we'll see you tomorrow, and no, tomorrow I won't be seeing you. I'll see you on Monday night, and we'll do some more step-by-steps. the week after, unless I get some time during the week. So if got any questions at all, please feel free to ask. There's the back. Just looks like a mess. Yes, it's filling out very well. It'll take time. These things take time, and once the eye's in, it'll just come to life. So yeah. All right, ladies. Talk to you later. Bye.